this was just a beginning. We are planning that if it goes in a good scale, we can increase the solar dependency of the plant. And secondly, this was the one for decreasing the grid dependency. Other was to decrease the electricity consumption in the plant itself. We approached the heaviest duty motors which were being used, which was the and in fact I even liked lectures of Usha ma'am as well in statistics. Yeah, stats one. She was really great because statistics was something that used to go above my head. In fact, I would say, I was not much into maths and all. The only advice that I would give anybody is don't be afraid to try anything. Try anything and everything that is possible in your domain, even outside your domain. Never limit your imagination. Don't set your bar that, okay, I can do just this much.
So hello everyone, welcome back to the stories of IIT MBS, and today we have Pratham here with us. So Pratham, first of all, a very warm welcome and thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for this opportunity, calling to the podcast.
So Pratham, could you please briefly introduce yourself for the viewers?
Yeah, my name is Pratham Agarwal. I am a diploma level student at IIT Madras BS in Data Science program. I'm a standalone student. I'm continuing this degree without any offline colleges. And I'm currently in the diploma level and I've completed my medium project this term.
Oh, wonderful. So Pratham, how did you get to know about this BS degree?
Actually, to be very honest, I was not into these tech background and I didn't want it to. I was never a very big IIT enthusiast or somebody who's looking forward for an IIT degree since my class beginning. In fact, I was always up for the defense forces. I wanted to join army since my first preference was army. But after during class 12, I was unable to clear for the NDA examination. My age eligibility was unfit for that. So I was unable to write the exam. And I was seeing up for CDS, that is Combined Defense Services. This is done up once your graduation is completed. And if I would have gone with any other 4-year degree program, like any other BTech or BS things, it would have taken me 4 years. And in that as well, I would have been like, my age eligibility wouldn't be satisfied in that case. So I just looked at it as an opportunity to get a graduation within 3 years. To be honest, I was not looking up for this platform or anything like that. It was completely out of the blue. I never aimed for it, but now when I'm into it from the last 2.5 years, I am it has changed my perspective towards this degrees. And to be honest, in the very beginning, I used to think it is an online degree. I don't know how well they'll be teaching, but within the first term itself, it was quite prominent that it's not a regular online degree that happens everywhere. It is it is something brief and it's gonna be tough way.
It is actually, the curriculum is almost same as that taught in an offline college.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say it is much better because offline colleges, the courses are not getting changed. It's not getting evolved. But over here, what I would say, the courses are getting changed every term, every single term. We are getting to see something new. The curriculum is changing. They're updating very frequently. And they're up for evolution. The traditional colleges are not concerned with the industrial standards and what industry is actually looking forward to. But in this IIT and BS, what I really liked is they're meeting the industry standards. And in fact, sometimes they are even going far ahead of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so actually, what made you choose this online degree as your sole degree? Like you have not attended any offline college yet. And you don't plan to, obviously. So, yeah. So, what made you?
So basically, my target was just to get a graduation degree within 3 years. To be very honest, in the very beginning, I never thought about all these things. And as compared to other offline colleges, this was quite prominent because these fields like data analyst was always always motivated me, and it was I was very inquisitive about data. The programming field is not something which I really look up to, but business analytics and data analytics are the fields which I really love. Coming from a business background, my family has always been into business since decades. So it was from the very beginning, the thing of business was quite inculcated in me, and I'm very grateful towards my family for giving me this this outlook towards life, about business and how things are actually done. Like most, to be very honest, in the starting days of BDM and courses like business analytics, most of the things were something like, yeah, we have done it since our very beginning, like class, or even I would say someone from our family from class 7 and 8, these concepts would be known to them. I'm not talking about the theoretical formula of data analytics and how things happen, but the fundamentals of how a business would run, a fundamental of understanding the customer's behavior patterns.
Yeah.
That is getting inculcated in us since the very beginning, and without even letting us know that something is taught to us. That's the practical approach which we go through. So that's why it was very interesting over here.
Amazing, amazing. So you went through the foundation level. Now you are in the diploma level. Could you please share who was your favorite instructor or favorite course while studying?
Sudarshan Iyengar, sir, Python, Introduction to Python. That's any day favorite. He is a living legend, to be very honest. And in fact, I even like lectures of Usha ma'am as well in statistics.
Statistics.
Yeah, stats one. She was really great because statistics was something that used to go above my head. In fact, like I would say, yeah, I was not much into maths and all. I'm more of a practical kind of a guy. In fact, these bookish things.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a very surprising thing that happened in Stats 1. During my qualifiers, I got a score of around 83 in quiz 1. And then in the quiz 2, I got a score of 38. So that was completely flipped from quiz 1 to quiz 2. And I was completely
in the numbers
shocked at what's happening.
Numbers also, like
in the numbers also, it's flipped. Yeah, it actually happened. And then it was completely heartbreaking for me because, first of all, it's an online degree. I don't know what even I'm up to because after the NDA thing, I was completely broken. But after that, in the end term, this Usha ma'am's lecture was so good. I literally scored 99 in the end term. So it was a complete U-turn that happened, and her lectures were really very good. I was unable to give time for the live sessions, but her pre-recorded lectures were more than enough. I didn't have much doubts to attend the live sessions, in fact. Other subject, I had to wait for the turn to ask questions, but Usha ma'am's lectures were great.
Amazing. And okay, so how did you manage the, deadlines and quizzes when they come in term preparations? Were you following any strategy? Yeah, could you please share?
Yeah, I would suggest like in my very first term, I was lagging behind all the deadlines and I was really very bad at deadlines. So what I thought was some of my seniors had suggested me, do one thing, whatever your deadline is currently, take the deadline in your mindset that you have a deadline 3 days before that. If suppose I have my deadline on 10th of September, I used to consider it as 7th of September. And I used to make sure that if I don't do it on 7th of September, I won't be doing it on 8th or 9th or 10th, no matter how much time I have. Whatever I'll be doing it by the time of 7th September. If I'm not doing, I won't be touching it anymore. So that was a bit tough to myself as well. But slowly, it happened well. It worked well for me. And it's a great thing. It gave me self-discipline as well. Because before I was taking it very lightly. Okay, fine, I'll do it by the 10th. I'll do it by the 10th midnight. But
once you set a deadline, then boundaries, you set, you were much more able to finish it earlier.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay, so Pratham, can you please tell us about your BDM project? We heard something about it. Can you please just introduce it and from the starting?
Definitely. BDM project was one of my personal favorite project which I worked on. I've also completed my MAD 1 project currently. Coming from a business background, as I've already mentioned, I thought of taking my own business in this project and completing it in a short go and not getting deep into it. That would have been much more easier for me. It wouldn't have been that it won't be that complicated and things would have been much more easier because I am running that business, so I know the complexity and the problems that I'm facing. And I almost prepared my proposal for my own business, in fact, that I'll be interviewing my father and I'll keep my father as a business owner and I'll continue with that.
So interesting.
But then I thought that, no, it's okay. I know what's happening in my business. And to be honest, this course, this complete data science course has in fact helped me to grow my business better, in fact. With the help of data, with the help of Excel and all, it helped me to excel quite literally. And then I thought we have an industrial park in the outskirts of the town, almost 15 kilometers from here. We have an industrial park where there are different manufacturing plants over there, like Tata, Hitachi, and many different plants are there. So I once just generally thought of going there and visiting there if I could get a chance to work with those companies instead of my business. I thought I have my business as a as a backup plan, but I'll just go and have a word with them. Just try it out if anything works out, because I knew the scale is much more bigger over there. This skill I won't be able to get in my own business. So I can't just go randomly into a company's help desk that I want to meet the manager or something like that. And I was unable to decide which company to choose for that. So I went there a couple of times, and in that industrial, it's a completely different township situated over there. So all the big manufacturing plants are present over there. Different companies are there. So when I went there, I was confused. It was a completely different world for me. I was unable to take it myself that to whom shall I go up to. So then I found like there was a small tea shop or tapri kind of thing you may say, where all, like I found that common shop where all the factory truck drivers used to come over there. So I went to the tea stall guy and I spoke to him that okay, which company is doing good right now, which is a new company over here, which company has a better outlook towards the modern tech and all,
That's where you
which
got the
is
insights.
yeah, that's where I got the insights, and I zeroed down to the company which I worked in is Laser Power and Infra Private Limited. The reason why I chose this was it was a completely new plant over there. Other factories which were situated were years, decades old. They were from decades over there. This one was a 2-year-old plant. And
Okay.
with the out, and I personally believe that if you want to know about the core of the company, if we get to know about the in the in the pyramid who is at the lowest level, if that people are happy working with that company, I think that's the best place to work upon.
Wonderful.
If
Yeah,
the
yeah.
if
Such a nice
the
point you
last
shared.
tire of the place is good, if they are happy with the management, then I feel that yeah, we can look up to the company. And I got an opportunity to meet the vice president of the company as well, Mr. Praveen Paul. He was also a great inspiration in this project. He helped me all the way in this project entirely. And like he gave me insights. The moment I met him for the first time, like he was very jolly and he was very welcoming for me. It wasn't like a very corporate kind of a thing. He welcomed me as a student and he was up for everything, for sharing the data and for sharing insights. Because if you would have given me the data entirely, I wouldn't understand anything because it's a huge company. There are multiple manufacturing setups. He was the one who sat with me and explained me that, okay, how it can be done. As he is in this industry from the last 25 years, he has proper knowledge about it. I didn't want to work with somebody who is very big over there like Tata and other companies like that because they already have an R&D wing and an analysis wing who is looking into it constantly. This company was in a development stage. It was a developing project and it has huge potential to grow, which I personally felt. And he helped me with that. In the first meet itself, he said me that do you really want to do a project or learn something, or you're here just for the certification and you just want to complete your project by any which ways. So I'll give you that way. I said, no, sir, I really want to learn something that how data analysis works. Then he told me to look into. There was another incident where I was going into much complex problems in the factory. He called me back because the course instructors Ashwin sir and Aditya sir, their lectures were really very motivating, and they were doing completely. They were going into the depth of the problem. He said me that don't go into such complex problems. The best results can be found by the simplest approach. If you keep your approach simple, you can get the best of the results. If you go much complex, much detailed into it, you might won't be able to complete it within such short period of time. As I have a limited number of terms, I completed this project, I guess, in 2 terms. So within 6 months, if you want a result outcome to understand, because everything is too, it's not everything over there is not data oriented. It's happening in the scale of and like I thought that okay fine I can talk to the management team and the other people, but over there I found it was mostly labor oriented jobs which was happening. We had managers, but it was mostly labor oriented. So the scope of data was comparatively lesser. He asked me to work upon. I saw the electricity bills and the number was quite shocking to me because the average monthly bill was around 35-40 lakh rupees per month. So that was quite shocking, and the number was absolutely huge for me. It was I'm not used to such big numbers per month. So then he said me that, okay, do one thing, find out if you can find a way if you can do this, because it's not something like I can ask them, okay, fine, we'll put LED bulbs instead of the regular ones, or we'll turn off the fans, or we'll install IoTs that will turn off, that will sense the people in room and all, because that is negligible amount of electricity. The motors, the conductors that are used in the manufacturing plants are almost 350 kilowatts, 500 kilowatts, that kind of things. So he asked me to work upon that, and he was up for renewable sources as well. He was himself worried about renewability and sustainability of this program, of his project, because it was going in a upward direction. As it is just a 2 years project, and he said that the electricity bill consumption is directly proportional to the production of cables which we are doing. Because for producing cables, we need electricity, and a hefty electricity is required. So you can get the idea of the manufacturing just by looking at the electricity consumption data. And that showed me that the company has showed almost 10 times within 24 months. The first month's electricity bill was almost 50,000 rupees, something like that. And the peak electricity usage went up to almost 4.5 lakh rupees per month. So that was, the company had a huge potential, and this is just the beginning. So we were looking forward to decrease the dependency on the grid. And there were huge rooftop areas available in this shed. So we came up with a solution that, okay, fine, we'll talk to solar manufacturing plants, and we'll talk to vendors who can install such big 1 megawatt solar panels in our factory. He helped me get in touch with some of the dealers and vendors and all, with all respect of laser power and infra, and we used to get quotations, and we used to understand. He said me, before getting quotation, try to understand the entire solar thing, that how it is working, what components are required, and how can we zero down the expense. Because the capex of this project was almost 4.5 CR that was being involved. And the capex would have, the ROI could be generated within 3.5 years at full potential. So he was up for it. He didn't had any problem with that. And in fact, like initially, even he thought that it's a common college day project and it's just a research thing which the student will come and go. But towards the end of the project, the two factors which I work upon is zeroing the grid dependency. I installed solar plants for that. And the other thing was the motors, which was drawing hefty amount of electricity, like 350 kilowatt of the average. Like it was almost 350, 100 kilowatt motors like that. It was used in the factory. And the problem was the efficiency grades of the motor. The motors which were used were pretty old. The efficiency grade was almost IE1, IE2, those kind of motors were being used. And those were almost 10 years old technologies. If just by improving the motor quality, if we just increase the efficiency of the motor by IE5, we could have, just by changing the motors, we could have saved almost 65 to 70 lakh rupees annually. So that the company didn't had such motor data. With the help of some factory managers, we did survey of all the motors present in the on the factory for almost 1 week, 1.5 week, like that. Almost 10 days, we studied the motors, that, okay, what's the potential for changing it? What would be the capex involved? Because it's not like you can just invest and you just forget about it. When we are talking about business, we need ROI as well. We need to generate the income from there. We need to see how much we are investing. Are we getting the returns or not on that particular investment?
Definitely.
So that was very good. And personally, which I liked was they were always up for change. They weren't very rigid, or they weren't very, okay, fine, we are here in the industry from last 25 years. We are the leading manufacturers. We don't need anybody else's guidance or anybody else's support. They were always looking up forward for what can be changed right now. What is the today's generation looking forward?
Yeah.
How can things be improved right now?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Okay. Any other thing else you want to share, Pratham?
Not as such, but I would say that people currently, as now, the BDM project is also getting optional for them, I believe. And they are getting some AI generated reports and all. There's a change in subject, I believe. the subjects are being changed, I would suggest people, and people generally don't look up for BDM projects. They are okay, we'll just look into some small businesses and do it. I would suggest them just try your luck out, go to some good businesses, go to some manufacturing setups, just ask help from it. In fact, the letter of recognition that was given from IITM for the students that we can approach businesses, that was a very good initiative. Otherwise, these business manufacturing plants won't recognize us, they won't trust us. They are giving their crucial data.
Yeah, continue. Yeah, you continue.
They are giving us our crucial data and they are helping us work with them. They need some sort of credibility of us. They don't know me as a person, but they know IITM as an organization.
Yes. Also, Pratham, can you please just in 1 or 2 lines, maybe just describe it and summarize it, that what problem you solved through BDM? Like all of this you shared, but just in 1 or 2 lines, can you please, if you could summarize it?
My problem statement was I wanted to decrease the grid dependency of the company, and I wanted to give the company a better sustainable growth, because the grid dependency and the carbon footprints that the company was generating just by electricity was huge. And implementing solar not only decreases the cost to the company, the manufacturing cost, it also decreases the final end product price. Because if the manufacturing price is getting low, we can sell it we can give a much competent rate to the market. And also the plant life is almost 20-25 years, the solar panels which we are installing. And within 3 years, the ROI could be generated. 3.5 years it could be generated. And the next 22 years, you're having free electricity. And you can even, this was just a beginning. We are planning that if it goes in a good scale, we can increase the solar dependency of the plant. And secondly, this was the one for decreasing the grid dependency. Other was to decrease the electricity consumption in the plant itself. We approached the heaviest duty motors which were being used, which was the core cause of electricity consumption. We zeroed down to that and increased the efficiency. The motors which we are using right now was around 80% efficient, 80 to 83% efficient. That was IE1. But the current generation motors, that those are IE5 grade motors. Sorry. The IE5 grade motors are almost 95 to 98% efficient. That's a huge milestone to cover. If the company can change it, it can save almost 70 lakh rupees annually just by changing the motors in electricity consumption, and that would give new life to the factory. The motors which we are using right now are almost 10 years old, and it's prominent to regular breakdowns. A single day breakdown in the plant disrupts the entire manufacturing process. It brings the entire plant to the standstill. But if we go towards a new motors, first of all, it will be more energy efficient. It will consume less power. And secondly, the chances of breakdown are less as compared to an older generation product.
Yeah.
So these two were the major things that I looked upon my BDM project.
Amazing. They shared, Pratham. So, any other advice for your juniors who are watching this and for their projects and maybe for career assignments and anything you want to share with them?
The only advice that I would give anybody is don't be afraid to try anything. Try anything and everything that is possible in your domain, even outside your domain. Never limit your imagination. Don't set your bar that, okay, I can do just this much. You can always break. The worst thing that can happen when you try it, you may fail.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
That's the worst thing that can happen.
Yes.
So you learn something or the other. Just getting success. There's no graph that will go only upwards. You need to fail, you need to learn, you need to evolve. That's the whole logic behind everything, right? So I would say that just try it out. Because sometimes what happened is maybe one person says no, 2% says no, multiple persons said no. But what if that one person said yes to you? All the no's get disappeared. It's gone. It doesn't matter anymore. Once you just one yes can change 1,000 no's.
Wonderful thing.
I would suggest not to stress much upon the end term examination and quiz 1, quiz 2, not to stress upon that. If you're just consistent upon your graded assignments that are given on a weekly basis. So, but what I was saying is, where was I?
Don't stress too much about the interim exams.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll be cutting this, right?
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, the thing I was saying is don't stress much about the graded this end term exam, quiz one, quiz two. If you're just consistent with your graded assignments and you're just done the PYQs, na, that's more than enough. That's literally more than enough. And before I used to think that the deadline is very short, we don't have much time to study, but it's not actually. If we just watch the lectures are more than enough. The lectures provided by the faculty is
Yeah.
like I would and the best thing which I liked is there were some professors who are not even like one of my favorite professors, Sudarshan Iyengar sir. He's not even from IIT Madras. Saying is like Sudarshan Iyengar sir, or even we had the DBMS professor with us, Professor Pratham Pratap. He was from IIT Kharagpur. Most of like we are getting the best of the best class faculty from different institutes who is best in our defined subject. So you are getting one of the best opportunities which you can get. You're getting the best faculty or getting the best resources as compared to any other offline degree. I would suggest this is much more better than any offline degree because the kind of practical exposure you're getting in this project. And the one of other thing which I really liked was these all were solo projects. I know when I was a student, I didn't like it myself because we all like group projects. Okay, fine, one person will do all the work, five will take the credit of it. That happens that happens always in the offline project. Okay, sorry.
It's okay if we have like 1 to 2 minutes only. So just if you could wrap it up. The podcast is about
Yeah,
to end.
okay, fine.
Yeah,
Sure,
so
sure.
yes. So
I would
just
suggest don't stress upon the end terms and quiz and all. Just focus on your graded assignment, and that's more than enough. Just make sure you're doing that yourself, not using any LLMs or ChatGPT and any other thing.
yeah.
If you're doing it yourself, this quiz one, quiz two end term won't be a factor to you. That will be a cakewalk for you, to be very honest. Just
Yes.
do your assignments on time, and that's more than enough.
Okay. Pratham. Thank you so much. It was a lovely conversation with you. I enjoyed it a lot. And thank you so much for joining and all the very best for your future.
Thank you so much for your invitation as well. Thank you for this opportunity. It was really great of this project and of you for inviting in this podcast. Thank you so much, Akrima.
Thank you, Pratham. We'll see you again.
Sure.
Okay.